Hey, welcome to Unstoppable Agents. This is the show where we help you build your business, build your wealth, and build a life of impact and significance. I'm your host, Brian White, and we come to you each and every week interviewing EXP's ICON agents. These are agents that are top producers. They've earned literally the top achievement that EXP has to offer. So we think we can probably learn a little bit about their business. We are excited to have you here with us today and really to celebrate you and your recent ICON achievement. So why don't you just get us started by introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about you.
Okay, thank you. So I started at EXP about a year ago, made ICON my first year.
Awesome.
I have been in real estate since about 2007, 2008, and that was actually a very good year to get started because that was when the market crashed. Yeah. And I really had to learn the business because business was not just falling into my lap. So I really had to work the business hard.
So what was that like? So you get started down market. So what did you do to kickstart that?
I did open houses every Saturday and Sunday with other agents because I didn't have any listings. It was a little bit of a different market back then because computers were out, of course, but everything was not being used the way it is now. So I did open houses. I think I made like $18,000 my first year, and other people were not making anything because they were so used to deals falling into their lap.
Yeah.
I got hooked up with a couple investors. They helped me out quite a bit. They bought a few properties, and then I moved over to Century 21. And I was there, I had started at Weichert, that was at Weichert, and then I was at Century 21 for about, 8 years, and then I moved over to ReMax. Okay. And I actually was broker owner of my office at ReMax. Okay. And then I learned about EXP, so I begged my partner to buy me out so I could come over to EXP. And the market was insane then. So I did about $19 million worth of real estate my first year at EXP. And I did about $18 million my last year at ReMax.
Awesome.
And here I am today.
Awesome. So you were definitely a real estate success story. You see, you've been in a couple of different places. What has caused you, so each time, what has caused you to make a change? As you step through each change, what did you see that drove your changes?
Yeah, so when I left Weichert, I had gotten a recruiting call from a Century 21 broker, and I didn't know what I was doing when I was at Weichert. The broker was like, do you get this? Do you get this? Do you get this? And I was like, no, I don't get that. So I moved over because they gave me a great package. And then at Century 21, we caught our broker stealing our leads. I had a partner. Leads would come in calling for our listing, and they would farm them out to other people instead of giving them to us. Yeah. So I had a partner at the time. We decided, we didn't know about EXP at the time. That was probably, I don't remember what year it was, but we were either going to go to Keller Williams or ReMax, and we did not like Keller Williams. So we went to ReMax, and I thought I was going to make a lot of money running my own brokerage, and that is not true. It's a lot of managing, and I was still selling. So I was basically carrying the office. And then I learned about EXP, and I am licensed now in 2 states because I literally just moved from New Jersey to Virginia. Okay. So I liked EXP's option that you can be in different states and do sales in both states. I've also been doing this a long time.
With one cap and one set of fees.
Correct, yep. Yeah. I have my broker's license and owned my office, and I'm 66, and I really want to help other people achieve what I achieved. Real estate's been great to me. And so I'd like to actually help other agents join EXP and have the success that I did.
That's great. That's great. And that's one of the great things about it is we've got a great platform to give back. And not only do we attract the kinds of people that like to give back, but there's financial incentive for doing it. So it's the gift that keeps on giving. You'd probably do it anyway. You'd probably do it just because you love people and you love giving back and you love building others up. But then there's also a financial incentive to do it, which is the gift that keeps on giving.
So I love EXP. I love that I can work from home. I'm trying to get myself established here in Virginia now. I signed up for all these courses today on the, I don't know what you call it, what's scheduled for the week.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, and I have a 3-way call with an agent tomorrow, actually, that I've been talking to for quite a while.
Let's talk about, so you talk about wanting to give back. So
Right.
let's talk about that. Let's take you back to the beginning, because you joined as the market was going into a shift, and it's not the same kind of shift, but we're certainly seeing another one of those right now. If you could go back and give your newbie agent self some advice, what would you tell your?
Follow up, follow up, follow up.
Okay. So tell me more about that.
I get listings because I followed up with them for 2 years. Maybe I got them from HomeLight or Fast Expert. There's all these companies out there that can send you leads and you pay them a 25% referral. And they're usually not ready to list right away. So some of them I talked to for 2 years, other agents drop off and they end up listing with me 2 years later. And the other thing I would tell people is don't hesitate to pay referrals. I'll pay somebody 25% referral every day of the week if they give me a listing lead. I don't mind paying referrals to referral companies because you get that listing, they have friends, they have kids, they have parents, and that's how you really build your business.
I love that. So you're taking really a lifetime view of a client. So it's not just about doing the deal today. It's about friends, family, deals that they'll do in 5, 7, 10 years. It's
Right.
really about building it long-term.
And always do the right thing for your clients because it will come back and haunt you if you don't.
That's it. Well, and it'll pay you dividends if you do, and it'll haunt you if you don't. It's amazing how small an industry it is. It's a crazy.
So give you an example. I have a house that hopefully we're going under contract today, and she needs to buy a house. And it's very hard to buy a house when it's contingent on the sale of your house, even
especially
if the house is
this
under
market right now.
contract.
Yep.
So I also sold her mother's house. So I told her what I'm going to do for her, which I've been doing, is when she finds a house she likes, I actually call the listing agent. I ask them if they will do dual disclose, if they will do a dual agency, and they just pay me a 25% referral.
Oh, wow.
So I'm giving up something, but it's the only way my seller is going to get a house because she can't compete against cash buyers and other people that don't have a contingency.
What a terrific way to do a win-win. And you had a deal that you couldn't get otherwise because she's not going to get a house. So
correct. And then I can't sell her house, and hopefully she'll refer me to her friends and neighbors and everybody else.
That's a very generous approach. It's a very generous approach. It's great.
Well, sometimes in this market, it's very hard to compete when there's multiple offers on a house.
So I want to take you back, and so let's talk more about follow-up. So how do you follow up? What do you use to follow up? And really, even as we go into that, you're following up with a HomeLight lead, for instance. You don't know these people. So how do you stay in touch with somebody in a way with somebody that you don't even know? What does that look like?
When I get the HomeLight lead, I call them and email them and text them if I don't get them one of those ways. And then I write that on the sheet of paper and I do it again a week later. And I do it again a week later. And then I do it again a month later. And then I do it again a month later. And sometimes I get them and they say they're not ready. So I say, is it okay if I call you back in 60 days to see how things are going? And they usually say yes. And sometimes I wait 30 days and call them back and they're listed already. That happens to everybody.
Yep.
But basically, I just have a tickler file that I pull out and I do that. I'm trying to do more video text messages because I know that's the way to go. I'm not very good at that yet, but I think that will help with follow-up because they're going to actually see me and hopefully remember me.
That's great. So what I want to double click on something you said there because it's wonderful. I think so often there's so much technology getting into real estate today. And people are worried about their CRMs and they're worried about so many different things. What I think you said was you literally write somebody's name down and then write it down again on your list to call them back in 30 days and 60 days. Big Chief tablet still works. Spiral notebook still works.
Yep.
Just the traditional, put cards into even a Rolodex. Most of you people watching this don't know what a Rolodex is, but put it in a card file and whatever it is, as long as you just continue following up, it doesn't have
whatever
to be
works for you. Some people use the calendar. Some people I have on my Google Calendar and I put a task to call them back. I'm starting to use CRM Gross.
Okay,
I'm working on that. I have to get a little bit better on that. I have not been able to master KV Core yet. So whatever works for you, you have to call them and call them.
So my wife and I are a team and I use KV Core and everybody's in there and we use all the tools. and she uses a spreadsheet. It's totally fine. It's great. She's a lot friendlier and happier, and she just goes and blows, and I've got the system out. So we teach it. Different systems work for everybody. So you came from ReMax. You were a broker owner at ReMax. Sold that, had your partner buy you out to come to EXP. So what problem were you trying to solve, or opportunity did you see in EXP that caused you to want to give up ownership? Because you owned your brokerage.
I just really feel that the market is changing in the same way, and then they talk about this in all their videos, the same way that we used to go to Blockbuster, now we use Netflix, and all those examples. So I never would go into the office. Nobody came into our office. I was part owner and no one ever was there. We were paying for a secretary, which is a waste of money. So I just feel that working from home is the best way. I liked their stock option. I play around the stock market, so I get to do the 5%. I like the fact that I can make ICON and get all my commission back, which is a form of retirement for me. And I like the idea of training other agents and getting other agents and building my business, my downline, to help other agents do well. Because personally, I don't really want to take buyers out anymore. I'm 66. I'd rather work from home and talk to agents and help them build their business and take buyers out and do that.
That's awesome. So there's a retirement plan, there's financial security there's better life balance because you're not chasing buyers on a regular basis.
I also really like their education program.
Okay. What do you like about that? Tell me about that.
Every Sunday I go on the site, the calendar, and I pick out all the classes I want to take. I always have 10 or 15 picked out. I put them on my calendar, and if I can't make it, like there was one today, I think at 1 o'clock that I missed, then I just take it off and I sign up for the next one. I like to do things like that and learn more. And I like the fact that I can go into the class, and if I think, oh, I don't need this, I know all about follow-up or whatever it is, I can just go out, and it's not like embarrassing for anybody to see me leave.
Yeah. And you didn't have to get dressed. You didn't have to get dressed up, drive 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes into an office, go in, talk to 7 people or 40 people, and then leave if it wasn't valuable. So it's a win across the board. Were you surprised at how good our training is? I was surprised when I joined that the training was actually much better than I thought it was going to be, and continues to get better.
I think the training's excellent. I did a couple today on an Icon one, and she was talking all about how to get your logo and make yourself so everyone recognizes you. I learned a lot. So I think the training's excellent. And I also really the support. So if you have a problem with if something's not working, you can go to tech support and they'll help you right away, which is pretty amazing.
I'm having a little performance issues that I hadn't even thought of, but yeah, totally. I can go get them to help. So that's a great reminder. Today, are you a solo agent? Do you have a team?
I have one recruit, and she already recruited someone, and I have a 3-way call tomorrow. It'll be our second one with Tara. I have quite a few that I'm working on that are supposed to come over, and I've been talking to them for 9 months. It's not like you talk to someone and they come over right away.
Sure.
At least that's not been my experience, because it's a big deal leaving one company and going to a next. It's not easy.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Yeah. And now the great news is now there's more than 1,000 people a week that are making that change. We're starting to see more proof in the pudding, and honestly more people seeing the benefit and realizing the benefit. So every time that happens, it maybe gets a little bit easier for people to believe that it really is an amazing company.
That's why I was excited to move to Virginia, because New Jersey, there's a lot of people moving over already. Where I am now in Virginia, I don't think there's as many people. I'm in the western part, so I feel like there's a good potential here. And I'm going to start hopefully this weekend. Took me a couple months to get internet. We literally just moved in May, and I didn't get internet until the end of June. So I finally have internet, and I'm going to start going to open houses, introduce myself to the agents, give them my cards, and try to start a database of people that I can follow up with.
Well, it has been awesome getting to know you. Thank you so much for doing this today. Any parting words that you'd like to leave with our agents?
EXP is definitely the place to be. So make sure you use all their tools, and you'll definitely be successful if you follow their advice.
Awesome. I don't think we can ask for anything better than that. Thanks for joining us today.
Okay, thank you.